Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. What I have going on today is I have an issue with my 2009 Ram, Dodge Ram, that I do not have any heat. It blows just kind of lukewarm air. And it's been like it for a few weeks. I just haven't had time to mess with it. Now we're getting cold. I need it back. So what I'm going to do to try and fix this is I'm going to dump all the antifreeze out of it. It has 102,000 miles. It's time for an antifreeze flush, so we're going to do that. Dump all the antifreeze out of it. I got some CLR, which is this stuff. I'm going to disconnect the heater core hoses from the water pump area, not from the heater core back there, because I don't want to like break it. Then I'm going to dump some CLR in it. I let it set for 10-15 minutes to let it kind of eat up maybe some deposits or whatever is inside the heater core. Dump it out and then reinstall. I got a new thermostat, and then I'm going to put new antifreeze back in it. That's what we're going to do for this today. I also have one of the blend door actuators making some noise. This would be the second time. The first one stripped out at about 80,000 miles or so. I got one from AutoZone, and it's making noise. Not even a year later, it's starting to make that creaking noise, so it's about to go to. And I've noticed it's kind of intermittent. Like sometimes it works, like maybe there are some stripped teeth. So I picked up a new one from Dodge, and hopefully it lasts a little longer. And really, it was only like $7 more. It's like I paid like 29 or something dollars for it. So really, it's not bad. I should have just bought it. But when this happened last year, it was at negative degrees overnight, so I didn't have time to wait to order one. So I just got one from AutoZone, and it kind of got me through till now. So now we're going to replace it. So the agenda for today: flush the antifreeze, replace the actuator, and then hopefully have heat again and clean the heater core. So I'm gonna start tearing some stuff down. I gotta drain the antifreeze. My GoPro's about to die, so I'm gonna charge this while I do the antifreeze. Just to give you a bit of a heads up where the drain is for this antifreeze, for the radiator. Get my light set up here. Kind of hard to see, but on the driver's side, very bottom corner of the radiator, there's a plastic plug. Wish I could get a better light on it, but I can't. But anywho, it's right down there on the very bottom driver's side corner. Now that, basically, when you undo that plug a little bit, there's a little nipple on the bottom of it that the antifreeze will pour out of. You can take that plug out all the way, keep turning it, and be careful though, because it's plastic, but you unturn that all the way, and it'll spew out of that hole too. So you just gotta be very careful, just because you don't wanna turn it too much, unless you wanna drain it quicker, right? Pull the plug all the way out. But if you just do it a little bit, it'll slow drain out of that nipple. And that's what I'm gonna do now while I kinda work on the other stuff. Next step that I'm going to do is right here is your thermostat housing. It comes off of the water pump, it looks like. So you basically just follow your upper radiator hose down around, and you'll come right into it. It's right here. You have 2 bolts. One you can see is missing already because I just took it out, which would have been right here, and then one on the back side. Take out those and pull the thermostat out. And the reason I'm pulling a thermostat is, one, it's 100. I have 100. Like I said, 102, 103,000 miles on this thing, and to me, it's just kind of an expendable part, I guess you could say. And it's $20, and I'm pulling all this apart. And I'd be pretty frustrated if I put it all back together and then, you know, a couple thousand miles down the road, the thermostat goes bad, or, something like that. Well, sometimes you luck out, right? The last clip I was talking about replacing a thermostat because it's an expendable part and you're crazy not to. Look at that bottom thermostat gasket. Look how ate up that thing is. Number one. Number two, look how ate it up is up top. I mean, that should be all a complete circle right there, right? And look at this inner gasket. All deteriorated and torn apart. Look at that. So, like I said, sometimes for these cheap parts, expendable parts, replace them while you're taking them out, because that's a prime example 102,000 miles, and I can't snuff it for 102,000 miles. You know, that's pretty good for, you know, the rubber and stuff to last. But think about it, you know, you can't put that back in, obviously. And it's good to think about this stuff ahead of time, because if I was tearing this thing apart, how am I going to get to the auto parts store? I mean, I know, like, I usually do these projects when my wife are away, just because she's doing things and I can get this stuff done while she's out. So now I'm out of luck. I mean, right, I have the Jeep and the Mustang, which are both torn apart, getting things done to them. So I kind of would have been screwed until my wife got home, and then it would have shot the whole day. So, like I said, replace this stuff while you have it out. Okay, guys. Now I'm unhooking I unhooked the thermostat, and you can follow. Yeah, there's two. Let's set up here. These two lines here. There's your thermostat lines, and I just followed them clear to the front. And you can see, past this guy, right here. One line, two lines. It connects right here and right here. So all I'm going to do now, remember what orientation they're in as well, just an FYI. They're still puking a little bit, but we're gonna flush them out. So something I'm going to do is actually take one, I'll put the end of my hose into it and light pressure through it just to kind of clean it out. So I'm going to do that now. Like I said, just light pressure, you don't need a lot. And just clean it out. Okay. Got it flushed. I kind of went from top hose down and bottom hose up with the light pressure of the hose. I kind of pulsed it, like I'd give it just like real light and just to give it a little bit of a higher flow. Obviously don't go too excessive. Now that it's done, I fished the top radiator hose because I want this one here up. Because obviously I want this higher than the radiator, the heater core itself. Because what I'm going to do is take that funnel and take some of this CLR, and I'm going to put the funnel and basically just dump some CLR in it, and I want to try and get it to where it stays in the heater core for a few minutes. So I have this funnel that I cleaned out, obviously. Don't want to put a dirty funnel in. You probably can't see this because I'm going above the light here. I'm going pretty high. I want to really make sure that this gets down there. And then put a little CLR in. Can't come out the bottom. And just to help me not waste too much CLR, set this down. I'm gonna clamp this bottom hose pretty close. Start filling her out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I used this whole bottle. I mean, it's the 28 ounce bottle, so. All right, we'll let that sit for about 15 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, we've had about a 15 minutes of this CLR sitting in, sorry. All right, big truck. 15 minutes or so, a little over 10 minutes now of this setting in the heater core. I'm gonna flush it all out with the hose, kind of like I did before I did this, and then we'll hook everything back up, and then we'll just start the process of flushing the motor of all the antifreeze. Okay, so I released the clamp that I have down low, holding the CLR in. Kind of tuck the line down between the brake line there, that way it kind of directs it towards my drain pan. Then I'm gonna take my hose, put it in the end here, and go for it. Like I said, light pressure. You don't need to blast it out. It won't do anything probably other than hurt your heater core anyway. I'm just kind of watching the water that comes out. I just want it to not be foamy, and I want it to be clear. And that's all I'm looking for. All right, she's looking pretty clear. Okay, I kind of got everything buttoned up. Got all my heater core hoses hooked back on the water pump. I got about 1.5 gallons of distilled water in the radiator. I took this top radiator hose and directed it down, and then I have a drain bucket below it, so I'm catching everything. And I think we're ready to start it. So I'm just going to start it and let it run for a few seconds, and it should blurp a lot of that out. And I'm going to check it, and as long as when it starts coming out clear, then I know that we're good to basically wrap things up and start putting antifreeze and everything into it. So that's what we're going to do. All right, in case you don't know this yourself and you want to know, it took about 4 gallons of distilled water till I thought that it was clear enough. It was actually clear. There wasn't any pink tint. These Rams, like I'm up to 2013, use what's called an HOT. And it'll tell you here, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep from 2002 to 2012. But it's called HOT, H-O-A-T. It stands for Hybrid Organic Acid Technology. You don't want to put just a plain Prestone, any mix in these. You can either go get this stuff, which is called Zyrex G05, made by Valvoline. Or you can go to the dealership and buy it. It's a lot cheaper, like half price, I think, when you buy it at Advanced Auto. So that's what I'm using. Zyrex H-O-A-T GL, or just G05. So now that that's done, like I said, about 4 gallons. You could probably get by with about 3, but just to be safe, I went with 4. Now I'm going to mix this 50-50 with distilled water. Put my new thermostat back in, which is right here. New thermostat back in, and then just start filling the antifreeze back up. Okay. Next, we're going to take a look at this blend door. As you can see it, it's that guy right there. Now it's pretty simple to take off. You have 2 screws, one of which is in the bottom, and one of which is at the top. Now this one you can get with a little short Phillips. So we get that guy out. Now this one controls the heat. So the heat to AC. Ah, looks like I can get this small one up here. I forgot. So if you have a little short stubby Phillips, looks like that's all you need. Like I said, just 2 screws and this thing just pops off. So there's that. This thing pops off. And there it is. It all seems well in there. Pop the new one on the same way that one came off. And then the screws. That's what I mean. There's definitely no need to go to the dealership and pay them to do this for you. I mean, you really can't beat how easy this is. Like I said, it's just right behind the glove box. Now, I've been told if you have dual climate, like some of those, you have to take the dash out to get to, but at least on a 2009 with no dual climate, you don't. squeaks, grinds, or anything. So that's done. Part number right there. That's the part number. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a line down or drop a comment down in the bottom here. I'll answer it best as I can. If you have if you're kind of lukewarm heat, radiator flush, a coolant flush, and a heater core flush and clean are probably what you need to do. Like I said, it restored my heat, and I couldn't be happier right now. So just move on to the next heat project. My next video is going to be about Mustang heat. I haven't had heat hooked up in this 67 Mustang in a while. I'm going to pull the heater box, check everything out there, rebuild it, put it back together, and get heat in it. But that'll be next video. So thank you for hanging out. If you have any questions, let me know. See ya.